Hey there, it's CJ Willie and I'm cracking a pack today. I'm back with pack number 21 of my 1988 Topps Mini Leaders box. I'm trying to see how many packs it takes to complete the set of all 77 cards. I've included a link to the preview video in the description below, which gives a little explanation on the set and the highlights of what I could pull in cracking these packs. Since each pack only has 7 cards, I'll guess which category or categories the player led their league, and then I'll flip the card over to see if I was right or how very bad my memory was from the 1987 MLB season. I've also got my checklist here, so we're to pack 21. Is this going to be the one where we get Rickey Henderson, Howard Johnson, and Mike Doon to complete the set and then move on to completing set number 2? Anyway, let's get to cracking this pack and see if I'm going to be able to do it today. Okay, let's get the wrapper off. Let's get the Spring Fever baseball out of the way, and let's get started. All right, first card up is Tom Henke. Henke was a closer with the Blue Jays. Came up originally with the Rangers and then spent a good number of years saving games with the Blue Jays. He was part of their mid-80s to late 80s run of success, being their closer. Later on, he pitched for a number of other teams, including my Cardinals in the 1985 season. So we'll mark Tom Henke off. Looks like we're going to have a row of triplicates. Henke was a league leader in saves. I don't recall if he was number 1. I think, I'm not going to be able to guess, but he definitely was he was number 1. Should have went with my gut. He saved 34 games for the Blue Jays in 87, first in games finished with 62, and fourth in games with 72. Okay, next up we have Dave Stewart, who was a key component of the A's during their mid-80s run to the World Series in 88, 89, and 90. Dave Stewart, during this time, starting with 87 through the A's run, was a league leader in victories. I don't recall what else he led the league in. I'm going to probably add on to victories, let's say complete games and shutouts. So he was first with 20 wins, second in games started, sixth in strikeouts, seventh in innings, and ninth in ERA. He had 8 complete games and a single shutout in the season, which in today's standards would definitely be a league leading stat, but not back in the mid-80s. Next up we have Harold Reynolds, who was a speedy infielder with the Mariners, second baseman. Spent quite a bit of time with the Mariners. I believe he ended his career with the Orioles. So anyway, Harold Reynolds, I'm going to say, was a league leader in stolen bases. Looks like in 1987 he was first, so he stole the crown from Rickey Henderson, who was only 5th this year, with 60 steals. He also was tied for 5th in triples with 8. Okay, Dwight Gooden is next up. 87 was Gooden's year where he missed start of the year. I think he only had about 20 games that he pitched in, so he's going to have to be a guy that was, if I remember correctly, was a league leader in ERA. League leader in ERA. 5th, he was tied for 5th with 15 wins. 3rd in shutouts with 3. 3rd in complete games with 6th, and 7th in 9th in strikeouts with 148. He only pitched about 25 games in the season and still able to get 15 wins. If drugs and injuries hadn't hit Dwight Gooden really hard, no doubt Hall of Famer. He was such a great pitcher in the 80s. Oh, we got Mike Doon. Okay, could this be the pack that completes our set? I'm hoping so. Usually it's been a run of 3 or 4 of cards that we haven't got. Looks like Rickey Henderson's right there. So I think we may have done it today. Oh, I flipped it over before I said we led the league in. It was pretty quick. Mike Dunn had like 2 years of success with the Pirates. He was part of the trade with the Cardinals. The Pirates got Andy Van Slyke, Mike LaValle, and Mike Doon in exchange for Tony Pena. I think that the Pirates won that end of the deal. Doon, I think, maybe was a league leader in wins, maybe ERA. So let's flip it over. So he was second in the ERA with 303, ninth in victories with 13, and then 10th in complete games with 5. So he had, like I said, a couple of seasons of decent success, but then completely fell off the map. Okay, Rickey Henderson, and now we're down to a single card. I mean, I won't pick up Henderson and look at him like I do with most cards, simply because I want to hold the suspense to see if we got Howard Johnson. How about I do this? I'm going to pick up both cards, and then I'll reveal it when I look to see what Henderson's stats were. Henderson is a speedy guy. My guess is that the only thing he led the league in 1987, and I've got to remember back to the preview video, I think it was just stolen bases. I think he was 5th in the league in stolen bases, and that was it. Okay, so here's the reveal. Did we get Howard Johnson complete our set? Yeah, we did. All right, cool. So yeah, Rickey Henderson was 5th in stolen bases with 41. Looks like the reason why he didn't lead the league was he only played in 95 games in 87. I think I missed that when I was doing my review video. Even though only playing in 95 games, he still managed to hit 17 home runs, driving 37 RBI from the leadoff spot, 41 steals, and a .291 batting average. Okay, Hojo is going to finish it out. So Hojo gets the dignity of being the final card to complete the set. So Howard Johnson came up with the Tigers, was part of their World Series team in 1984. After that, he was traded to the New York Mets. Spent a lot of time with the Mets, being their cleanup hitter. Had a lot of pop in his bat, especially with most of the stadiums in the 80s being huge, cavernous stadiums where it was really difficult to hit home runs. He helped them to a World Series victory in 86 and was part of the, somewhat dominant Mets teams in the 80s. I'm going to say that Howard Johnson was the league leader in home runs and RBI. I got RBI right. If I had said game-winning RBI, he was first with 16. Home runs, he was 5th with 36, 8th with walks, and then 10th in runs batted in with 99. So Howard Johnson, affectionately known as Hojo, was a thorn in my side in the mid to late 80s as the Cardinals and Mets had some epic battles. Well, my favorite card out of the pack, or what evokes probably the most memory for me, and who I'll focus on, I'm going to focus on Howard Johnson. There was a lot of epic battles between the Mets and the Cardinals in the mid-'80s as they battled back and forth to win the National League East, and Howard Johnson was perennially a thorn in the side. I loved watching the games on TV, just huge battles, not only from pitching. I mean, the Cardinals had Tudor, Danny Cox, Joaquin Andujar. They had a great bullpen with Todd Rowell. The Mets on their side, fantastic as well. They had Gary Carter, Howard Johnson, Ron Darling, Dwight Gooden, Darryl Strawberry, and their closer, Jesse Orosco. And, it was just a back and forth seesaw battle. If you look at the 85 season and then the 86, 87, 88 season, although the Cardinals slumped off in even number years, odd number years were always great battles. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like it, please subscribe and share. Also share with me in the comments what your favorite card or what you thought was the best card in the pack. Until next time, when I'm back to crack the next pack of 1988 Topps Mini Leaders in my quest to complete set number 2.